Welcome back, everybody, to the CHG Podcast. This is RJ here, and today I have myself a special guest, another special guest. I got SN, is it Sacris? Sacris? How do you say
Sacris.
that? Sacris,
yes.
Is that, I'm curious, is that your name?
No,
Okay.
It was actually my buddy and me when I first started my channel. He wanted to join in, and his nickname was Masada, which is fortress.
Okay.
And I can't remember which language. And so he asked me to choose a name that would go well with it. And Sacris was actually a temple or a holy spot.
Nice.
And I was always playing healers in the games we played together. So it really worked because he was a tank, I was a healer. So it just stuck.
Interesting. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Huh. So is the SN his thing then, or is that still you?
SN was for Psycho Nation.
Okay, I figured that much. Okay, I wanted to confirm.
Yeah.
Because I'm always seeing the name. I'm like, Sacris? Like, I'm like, what is that? But anyways, guys, we have SN Sacris on the podcast today. We're gonna do a special Halloween spooky episode because of you guys that do know, this man runs mainly a horror channel. He plays mainly a lot of mainly indie horror games and then some bigger horror games in the mix. But he's recently been doing some stuff outside of that. He was playing Ken and Bridge of Spirits. Is that what?
Yeah,
Bridge of Spirits. He was playing that, which totally was out of left field. And I messaged him. I was like, "Yo, you got the right game."
Right? Yeah.
Like, are you sure you went in the wrong neighborhood? But you're like, no, man, trying to diversify a little bit. And I was like, okay, I feel that. And also he had those recent reaction videos,
yes,
to some music videos and everything, which I saw. Those ones blew up for sure.
Yeah, the warnings, their whole thing, their fan base is amazing. I gotta say, just they follow anybody that does reactions to them, and they are very active. It's crazy.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I mean, I don't know anything about them. Are they a emerging band? Have they been around for a few years?
They're emerging, but have also been around for a bit. They've had insane teachers, like they've met and played with Metallica and stuff like that, like really big bands, because their dad was a record label producer.
Ah, okay.
And then they picked it all up at really young ages and just went off. And one of their first songs they ever covered was Enter Sandman. And
okay, I have something to. Okay, continue. I'm gonna have something on that. Continue.
So they did Enter Sandman, and then they actually did another one with a Canadian singer, actually Alyssa Cara, and they reimagined the entire Enter Sandman, and that's actually where I first heard them, and it was insanely well done. So ever since then, I was like, I'm following this shit. Sorry if I can't swear on here.
No. Have you seen my channel, bro?
Come on. I know.
Oh, man.
I did the same thing with our Godzilla. I was like, man, I'm sorry for swearing. He's like, dude, you watch me all the time, and you know I swear. I was like,
he's Australian. He doesn't know how to not swear. Come on.
Yeah.
We love you, Argzilla, don't we? So so Metallica recently did like some anniversary compilation thing. Last month or the month before, right? And it was like a bunch of remixes from all types of artists. Like, which one was it that had like Miley Cyrus and Elton John with like 3 other people or whatever? I was like, yo, what?
Just crazy.
But was the warning on that too?
Yes, they were the second track on it.
That's what I thought. Okay, because I read the set list and I was like, okay, so it was like a bunch of remixes from just a cool little thing. I was like, okay, and I saw that band and I was like, okay. So when I saw your reaction video, I think Arg did it too. I think someone. I think Rockstar Pool did it too.
Yeah, actually, Argod Zero did it too.
Okay, but I think Rockstar might have done it as well. And I was like, this name sounds familiar. And then when I saw the song title, I was like, I think they were on that anniversary album. Okay, cool. So he's been doing his thing recently. He has graciously come down to my lowly channel to grace me with his presence. He has like 1,000 times more subs than I do, but he has graced me with his presence, and I am very appreciative of it. So we will get going here.
Well, I'm happy to have you here.
And I'm so happy to have you here. Oh man, no joke. Wasn't sure because you're so busy, like, you can't be as responsive in the Discord and everything. So I was like, did he get my messages? Like,
I was like,
oh gosh.
I looked at the date and I was like, oh crap, that's today, right? I better check what he said. Like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm good. I still got a couple hours. Okay, I'm good.
Yeah, and I was like messaging him every day, and I was like, I hope he's seeing these. Because Discord doesn't show you if someone saw it, right? It's
I
just
know.
there. It's just there in the ether. So it's like, I hope he saw it.
Yeah, no. As soon as I realized what day it was today, I was like, man, I got to get on Discord as soon as possible and check what was going on. And I was like, right, okay. That's why I messaged you. I was like, are we still on? Like,
Yeah.
I haven't messaged you back in like 2 days. Sorry, but like, it's
Yeah, and
we good.
when you got to me, I was actually live streaming just a little bit ago earlier today. So I was like, I couldn't back to you immediately. So I was like, oh geez, I hope he doesn't think like I'm bailing on.
Oh no! As soon as it got close to the time, I was like, I'm going downstairs. I'm going to just sit on my computer and see if he messages.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I feel those late shifts, those are the evening shifts, man. They suck.
Oh, do they ever?
Yeah, but hey, you're here. I'm here. We're here. Let's get this going, man.
All right, sounds good.
I broke down the format for our man here, so he knows what's coming. So, as you know, we're gonna start off with just kind of talking about what we're playing, either on the channel or on a personal time. I usually kind of when I do this with David, there's no point telling each other what we do in the channel because it's ours. Exactly. So I normally just say what I'm doing off camera, and I'm still continuing on with Borderlands.
Right on.
The first one.
That's a good game.
It is. People, because 2 was so good, right? People forget about the first, you know. And David has said multiple times that he's actually because he that's like one of his 3 main franchises, right? It's Borderlands, Mass Effect, and like it can be a tie between like Dying Light or something else, right?
Yeah.
Or no, not that's it, Dying Light, but so it's funny because he loves it with all his heart, but he's never played the first, or at least not more than like, I don't know, like a tenth of it.
Wow.
Which is a shame because like, I feel like that set so many of the groundings for the second game.
It really does. The only
thing I think is missing is the narrative. Like the narrative is kind of him-haw, whatever.
Yeah.
And the characters don't really, it's like, why are they here? Like, yeah, they're vault hunters, but like,
why this specific one?
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, their backstories do get fleshed out in the second game.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I guess like some of the narrative pieces are kind of lacking, but like combat's great, graphics look good, it's fun as hell. There is the humor is there, you know. It just comes in different ways. It's not just being presented to you by one guy, you know, Handsome Jack, but it comes to you in a whole different type of ways. Claptrap, or just like the general text of the missions are sometimes funny.
Oh, I know the names of the guns.
Yeah, the names of the guns are sometimes like, I found one gun because, you know, some of the guns had like a little red text underneath. And like a special weapon. I picked up a shotgun and it wasn't really that good, but the text was like, "Holy crap, this thing shoots rockets!" It's like, you know, funny things like that, right?
Exactly.
So it set so many of these little building blocks for the second game and going forward. So it's like, I feel number one really goes under the radar for a lot of people.
It really did.
It's still a really good game. I mean, I played it on PS3 and I'm replaying it on PS4, the game of the year, just because they finally brought it to PS4 and Xbox One like 1,000 years later.
No kidding.
I mean, because like when they did the Handsome Collection with 2 and pre-sequel, it's like, okay, great. Where's 1? It's like, oh,
I feel like you missed something here.
You guys are missing 1. I don't know what it is. Like it's on the tip of my tongue. But yeah, 5 years later they finally bring it out, and so I've been playing that, having a great time, doing all the DLCs and shit, and I'm on the second playthrough, just trying to get all the trophies, just a couple more to go, and I'll be done. And I'm also so that's the fun thing I'm doing. The terrible thing I'm doing is Crash Bandicoot 4, as I've said many, many times, because I'm doing the time trials. And I am halfway through officially. Last time I was talking to David, I wasn't, but now I am. I have 20. I have 20 out of 38, and I subsequently lost half my soul in the process. So when I get the other 18, I will be dead.
There you go. Exactly.
But I'll have my platinum trophy, and it'll be worth it.
Exactly. And that's when the PS4 crashes.
You know what? That's fine, because it goes up into the servers. And
exactly.
It's fine.
It's up there. It's saved.
If it breaks my console, whatever. I did it.
Exactly.
Now, if I turn on a PS5 or PS4, like a new one, and it says corrupted, I'm going to have to go to jail, or run to your house in Canada and be a fugitive, because the cops are going to be looking for me.
They will look in Wetaskiwin, trust me, they will not. Nobody looks here.
Yeah, so I'll have to be a fugitive on the run. Change my name and everything. But yeah, so that's what I'm doing, man. What are you playing? You can either stay on the channel or not. What are you doing?
Well, on the channel, I've been doing Little Hope lately, and actually
Mm-hmm.
Alan Wake 2, the remastered
Yes,
version
yes,
of
you
it.
have. Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, like, they're good games. I like them. I honestly, when I downloaded Little Hope, I thought I
Mm-hmm.
was downloading Until Dawn. So
Oh,
the game that I actually wanted to play, I found out is only available on PlayStation, and I was like, well,
mm-hmm.
damn. So I stuck it out with Little Hope, and it's been endlessly entertaining. Just
Mm-hmm.
I'm choosing the most sarcastic way to play the game possible. And I know the decisions really base out whether you live or die with each character, but to me, it's like I'm going to be this sarcastic asshole to everybody. And I'm just going to see if I'm the guy that survives near the end of it, because if sarcasm can save my life, good.
Watch it save a few people.
Exactly.
I
Well,
will say, yeah,
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, you were talking. It's
Oh,
it's
one of the main characters in it, like I can't remember her name off the top of my head, but it constantly gives you a sarcastic answer or an asshole answer. And I sit there, I'm like, well, what do I do here? Like, I want to be sarcastic, but I also want to be this total asshole. So now I'm having to combine the two. It's really difficult.
Who would have thought you would have to choose?
Right?
Usually those things get put together. No, now it's like, nope.
No, this time you have to choose.
That sucks.
And then, of course, I run my 3 free horror games on my channel too.
Yes, that's a regular staple on his channel. He does it is it weekly or is it, how often do you do it?
I've been trying to do it once a week, but with the 2 big games that I'm doing, I really didn't map it out properly. So I'll be jumping in and out of doing that instead of posting an Alan Wake one, I'll be posting a 3 free horrors and then an Alan Wake on different the same day on different weeks. But the games are becoming harder and harder to find, right? Like there's a lot of free horror games out there, but there's only so many that are, let's say, worthwhile to present. Even the ones...
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah. Well, there's some out there, it's like, you look at them, and I know I've played some really crappy indie horror games on that series.
I've seen them.
Yeah, exactly. Like, there's been some really bad ones, but just picture this, there is worse. There is ones that I have considered putting into it, and I play the game, and I'm like, no, just, there's no way.
You know what? I think because, particularly that series, you seem to be coming in from a critical standpoint, right? Like you're just trying to play to give it some spotlight to see how it is, right?
Exactly.
I feel if it had been based on a comedy aspect or something, you're just like, let's just see what we can find, good or bad, right?
Yeah.
I feel like you probably would have put those really trash ones in there.
Yeah.
Because it's like you're trying to be nice, right? You're trying to just give constructive feedback.
Exactly.
I've heard it, right? Like good or bad, you tell them like, hey, this just isn't good. Or you say like, hey, this is great. More of this, please, right?
Yeah.
But like if it had been me, I'd have been like, this shit fucking sucks.
Exactly.
I would have just yelled it out. I didn't give a crap. I mean, the devs wouldn't like me, but
yeah.
I would get some free keys, that's for sure. But hey,
yeah, exactly. And what's really funny is I get a lot of comments like just off of the websites I get them off of, right? I'll get comments back from the developers when I give them like a bad review, or just be like, you guys have really fucked this game. It was fun up until this point. They'll like message me back, be like, hey, can you feature it again? I've updated it. And I'm like, no. Like,
damn.
I'm sorry, if I didn't like it in my first run through and I cut it short, that means I am not going to spotlight your game again. Because really, like, I'll play the game again. I'll check it out. But I'm not going to put it back on the channel, because the whole point is to spotlight new indie horror games, not the same ones over and over and over until they get it right. I can't do that, because that would drive me absolutely insane.
Because then you kind of just become basically become their tester.
Exactly. And there was one game, what's it called? They're Coming?
I think, is that the one with like the dolls?
Yeah.
Like the mannequins?
Yeah. And
You did that one a few times.
That was because I actually went into a deal with the developer of the game.
Mm-hmm.
I became their lead tester for that game.
Oh.
And which was fine. I didn't ask for monetary gain because my channel is still really small. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't ask for anything. What I asked for them to do was just to highlight my channel, like when the game goes full release, put like a special thanks to my channel on there and stuff like that. So it influences my channel.
Yeah.
And I don't mind doing stuff like that. And if any developer came at me with the same offer, I would do that. But their game had a constant, like, anything I told them, anything, I'd be like, yeah, this is taking too long it's not really giving you a scare.
Mm-hmm.
Within like 12 hours, I would get an update to that game. And they'd be like, here you go. Try it out now. And everything would get corrected. And it's that type of development is what I wish you could see in the AAA games.
Oh, man.
Because, like, think about Cyberpunk, man. Like,
Bro, with the levels of red tape you have to go through for something like that, come on, man. And also, you gotta, of course, though, there's so many more assets and so many more layers to like a bigger, even a AA game, right? Even a AA compared to indie. I don't think we realize. I know you went to school for a little bit, but I don't think, at least for me, I like to say like I would understand, but like I don't think I really get it unless
even going to yeah.
And then like here's a AA game even, and I'm like,
yeah,
my world has been flipped upside down. I have no idea. I was not ready for this.
It's crazy. It's even those little tiny indie games, man. They there's a lot of work that goes into them, and I always try and give credit for that because no matter how crappy your game comes out or how good it comes out, you still spent up to hundreds of hours developing and coding that.
Yeah, I mean, just the code. I have taken a coding class back when I was in college, and I'm not going to say I'm not saying as if I know everything about coding. I'm saying this because I got an actual glimpse into coding.
Yeah,
exactly how it can be, and you mess one thing up, that's it. One line of syntax is wrong, and figure it out.
Yeah, find where the error is.
Where's the error 404?
Yeah.
It's no lie. Indie development does have a lot more pieces than we think it does. Even if we see the simplest of textures, the simplest of designs, the simplest of hallways, there's still so much coding that goes behind it. True, but if you were to scale that to AA, like even a AA game, it's insurmountable. Probably
exactly
the layers, right? So. I know we all would love to get that kind of stuff from AAA, AA games, right? But because like some of them do have testers, right? They have entire teams, right? Like they break it up in shifts and everything, right? It's a whole thing.
Yeah.
But like even when they send the reports and you have like the QA leads and managers report that up to maybe I don't know who, developers or the directors or whatever. It still takes time, right? There's still so many steps you have to go through between that and then implementing the change, right? Like unfortunately, that's just how it is. Just the bigger you get, the longer it takes for things to get done.
Exactly.
It is what it is, but cool. Alan Wake, I was so happy to hear that get remastered and actually brought to PlayStation because I'm mainly a PlayStation guy, and obviously that was a 360 exclusive back in the day. And people would just always talk about it, right? Like one of those cult classics. And I'm like, it seems kind of cool. Like it's not too scary because I don't like scary games. It's not too scary. So I was like, I think I can play this, but I can't because I never had a 360. And I was like, here's a PS4. I was like, hallelujah.
Yeah, it's a good game.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. I've seen you play it a little bit. I was like, yeah, it's about good as I thought it was. There's some things, of course, it was made in 2009 or whatever, so some of the story points are like, oh my gosh, this is so old.
Yeah, right.
Some of it is like, geez, we've come a long way of storytelling, but still, I'm sure the overarching plot is going to be really cool.
Yeah,
to see. And Until Dawn has not gotten a PC release yet. Maybe it will. Sony has been on a stride of releasing their exclusives on PC. They actually just announced a publishing arm to put out exclusives on PC. So you may get your wish. You might get it.
I would love that.
Because I actually did play Until Dawn though. It was free on PS Plus years ago, and it's hilarious. It's exactly what it's supposed to be, which is a B movie slasher teenage horror thriller things, and it has, man, there's so much cheese, bro. Like
Yeah, I know,
Like you
and
gotta
that's
get some
why I want to
crackers.
play it.
You gotta get some crackers, man. There's so many. There's so much cheese. There's so much cheese. You're gonna wonder where the heck your wine is.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's so great. It actually has a huge fan fiction following. Like it's nutty. Like I didn't even know, right? Because like I beat the game and I love the
Yeah,
characters. I just love. I don't know what it was. I was like, I fell in love with these characters. I love the relationships because there's this girl. I think her name's Ashley. She is the cutest, most adorable thing on the planet, and I love her. And so I was like, oh my gosh, I need more of this. And I was just Googling some shit, and I was like, I led myself to fanfiction.net, and I was like, oh, okay. So I started
yeah.
reading the stories, and I was getting deep. Like, bro, I was deep. I had like a good good stint for like a month or two of just reading these really well made like epilogues to after
Yeah.
the shit happens. And dude, I was like, some of the stuff was so gripping. I was like, holy crap, man. I was like, I need the next chapter. I need the next chapter. Hurry up. So that was the one and only time I've been on fanfiction.net, but it was a good time. I will say
That's
that.
good.
I know
At
most people
least it
don't
didn't
like
get dark.
most people. Well, it did. It did, but
Oh fuck.
but it was still good. It was still great though. I won't say it because I would have to say some of the stuff in the story, and you'll play it eventually, so I don't want to say too much. But yeah, it's nutty. It's awesome. And I was hooked for like 2 months, and then it just went away, and I was happy. So, cool, man. So we'll move on. We'll move on from that. So we're gonna have our little fun question for the day. I already told him what it was, and so I would like to personally ask you. So you have played a lot of horror games, either
Yes.
on channel or off channel, right?
Yep.
That's your thing. I don't know why, but that's your thing. But out of the old ones, we'll start with the easy one. I think better. I think first for double A, triple A, anything not indie.
Yeah.
What's been the worst horror game you've played? I would love to hear that,
The worst horror game.
and it could be
And I,
for any reason.
I'm gonna get a lot of shit for it, and I know it.
Yes. I'm
But
so happy.
Amnesia, War, the War
War
Pigs one.
Pigs,
Yeah,
yeah, War
I
Pigs.
can't stand that game at
Ooh,
all.
hot takes.
At
Okay.
it, and it's I love the Amnesia games. Don't get
Uh
me
huh.
wrong. Like I love the
Okay.
first one
Uh huh.
and the third one. The ones
Okay.
that came in between there, it felt like they were trying too hard, and it lost the mystery and the ambiance that the first game really had. And
Hmm.
to me, that destroyed the game. Like within the first like 40 minutes of gameplay, I was just disgusted. I couldn't even finish the game. I couldn't play it. I was done. And so actually after I did that, I actually jumped back to the first one because I was like, at least this one, sparks interest in me still.
Hmm.
There's still hidden stuff I've never found. And but yeah, I don't know. War Machine Pigs or something. I can't remember what's even called for the life of me.
It's something to do with War Machine and pigs. Yeah,
Yeah.
you are right. You can keep talking. I'm gonna try and Google it for us real
Yeah,
quick so you
yeah.
can figure
But
it out.
to me, they tried to ride that coattail of the first one way too much, and I know that's
Hmm.
kind of contradictory to most games because you want them to follow the story.
Yeah.
But that one just, I don't know, it just didn't speak to me. And like the first scare in it, I was sort of like, that wasn't scary. There was nothing
Ooh.
about that terrified
Ooh.
me.
Oh
So,
no. Oh
and
no. Oh,
I know
go ahead.
Amnesia fans are gonna hate me for that, but it's
Hey,
just.
do it. We bring the hot takes over here. um, that's interesting. So, by the way, it was called Machine for Pigs. A
Thank
machine for
you.
that was
That's
what it was.
it.
Because I was thinking of it too. I was like, I know that title. I remember because it's such a grotesque title. It's
Yeah.
like it's one you don't really remember or forget. So I was like, I know that. I know it. Machine for Pigs. So that's the first one.
Second.
That's the second. So that's the one you don't like. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you
The
know
Dark
how?
Descent is amazing.
That's the latest one, right?
That's the first one.
That's the first one. Okay.
Rebirth is the new one.
That was the from
Or
last year, I think,
yeah.
or the year before. I think.
Yeah,
Okay.
last year, yeah.
Okay. Are there any others? Are there just three?
I think there's just 3. I believe there was
Okay.
like some offshoots or something, but I've
Hmm.
never played those.
Okay, but there's three main
Yeah,
titles.
3
Okay,
main titles in that series.
interesting. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. So a lot of people were playing Rebirth last year,
Yeah.
through like Discords and stuff. I don't know if you were part of the Discords yet, but I was last year, and a lot of people were playing Rebirth, and so I watched it, right? And
Yeah.
like, because I remember Amnesia, the first one, and
Yeah.
people would talk about it like on lists and stuff on YouTube, and I was like, I know I'm never gonna play it because at the time it was PC only, so I was like, good, I don't got a PC anyways.
Yeah.
But people were like saying like this game, like do not play this game. Like it's like a warning label. Do not play if you're pregnant.
Yeah.
Like sensitive to lights.
Yeah.
They were like, do not do this. Like this game is ridiculous. And I was like,
Yeah.
good. I wasn't going to anyways. But yeah. And so I knew the reputation of the first one. And
Yeah.
so and because it did, if I remember correctly, it did like it used subtlety or something. It was like more
Yeah.
subtle. It was more ambience, like just
Yeah.
dread, like trying to create.
Yeah, they built a terror instead of just thrusting it into your face. They built up onto it to a point where you were second guessing every corridor, even if you haven't seen anything for the last 30 minutes. Like it was really well at building.
Yeah, the world building. It did. That's what I remember hearing about it. That's why it was so scary, because there's, even if nothing's happening, you just think something is happening, right?
There was always that thought something was coming for you.
Which, not that I'm any kind of authority on game development, but I think you would agree. Some of the better horror games you've played on your channel, especially those indie ones, are the ones that do that exact thing. That create that sense of foreboding. That sense of like, I am terrified, even though the sky's out. Like, nothing is happening. But you've created this world so creepily and so well done that I am terrified just to stand here.
Exactly.
I mean, people love the jump scares, whatever. I don't.
Yep.
It gives me heart palpitations. But most people do, and that's great. And even games like Amnesia will probably use them.
Yeah, they do.
But those don't last. It's a quick snap and that's it, done. Right?
Yeah, you're scared and then the terror starts building again.
Yeah, it's like bam, done, gone, and then okay, let's try to rebuild it now, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But for the other type with Amnesia, it's like even if they have a jump scare come at some point in the game, you're still scared afterwards because you were scared beforehand. So
and now you have a reason to be scared.
And now you've been given. I know there's like a thing that follows you in the game.
Yeah,
right. Like, yeah, okay. And so like even if he's not there at the moment, you're still like, oh my gosh, like I can't do this because I just think he's there or it's there, and then when it does show up, you're like, you throw your controller at the TV and you're like, I can't do this.
Exactly. Yeah, one of the best things about that game is when you thought the jump scare was coming, you would walk into the room and you'd be ready. You'd be like, ah, fuck, I got this, right? But then it would happen like 30 seconds after you're like, oh, nothing's happening. And then they freaking nail you, and it's just like, okay, not misjudging this game again.
You got me. You got me. Now I can't prepare for anything. Thanks, game.
Yeah, exactly.
But for horror fans, that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. Because people, I imagine with horror fans, I mean, there's only so many things you think you can do. So like you've been through the gamut, right? You know. But for a game to be able to keep you on your toes, a horror game at that's impressive. And so that was great. I love the hot take. I've given my own hot take on the channel many times. I don't like Resi 8 at all. So I mean, I've given my hot takes already. Yep. So I mean, we like hot takes here. Anyways, right on. So this is a little bit harder because, like you said, there are thousands of indie games.
Yes.
like I went to itch.io once, and I was like, all right, I'm done.
Yeah, there's a lot there.
So many, and that's just itch.io, right? That's not even including Steam Greenlight or like just anything on Steam that is free.
Yeah, or Game Jolt.
Yeah, I don't even know what the fuck that. Okay, yeah, Game Jolt.
Yeah,
yeah. So if you can, whatever comes to mind, then just make it easier. What is just either one? If you know you're the worst indie horror game you ever played, great. If not, just give me like a really, really bad one that springs to mind.
I got one for you. It's called Sleigh Bells.
Sleigh Bells.
So at one point I was doing this thing. It was horrible horrors. So I was searching out really bad indie horror games.
Oh, bring that back. I want that. Bring that back. I want that.
Well, I'll try and bring it back. The reason I stopped is it's definitely getting a lot of flack on my channel. Oh, I remember some of
From the
the
devs?
comments.
Was it from the devs themselves or other
Oh,
people?
the devs, friends of them, they would get people to
Hmm.
come and mass dislike the videos. It was bad.
Oh man.
Yeah, my channel took a freaking hit for that one.
Ooh.
But the major one was Sleigh Bells.
Okay.
And actually a few other content creators from actually the same Discord that we're in have actually tested a few of these games.
Oh.
And Sleigh Bells, it's pretty much what it sounds like. It's Santa hunting you down.
Okay, I was
Right?
gonna say I hope it's something related to Santa.
Yeah. It's Santa with an axe hunting you down. And the really bad part about this is you're playing as a chick, and she is a prostitute that is late for picking up her son from the babysitter. And you forgot to get him a present or some crap like that. And the whole time you're like, the whole game, I spent like 20 minutes playing it, and I could not figure out how to get out of anywhere. Like everywhere you turn, there's Santa with his axe coming at you. And there's no like, you get hit 3 times or something. It's like you get hit once, you're done.
Oh, what?
It was a terrible game. But it was entertaining as all hell just for the storyline behind it. But yeah, the game sucked. It was pixelated too. I mean, like, I've played pixelated games, but this tried to stretch out 8-bit into like a 1080p scenario. So it was just like big freaking chunky blocks everywhere.
Was it like Minecraft style?
No, it was not intentional. It was just really bad development.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting. I mean, that initial premise is like, why a prostitute?
Right?
Like,
That's what I said.
It could be a woman. All right, whatever.
Yeah.
It could be a woman who, everything else, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Forgot to pick her kid up from school, forgot to get a present, whatever.
Yeah, it happens.
Okay, whatever. It happens to the best of us. Am I right, ladies? Am I right? Anyways. But like, why a prostitute? Why did she have to be a prostitute?
Yeah, why was that even a part of the game? You didn't need to know what her job was. You were looking for your kid's present.
Was it like I'm trying to put my game development hat on right now.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, is it to like make it so where you don't feel as bad that Santa's killing her? Which that is terrible too. But like,
Yeah,
I'm
right.
just trying to think. Like, I'm trying to think though. Like, because like, why does she have to be a prostitute?
I think it was to explain why she was walking in the middle of the night for absolutely no reason, other than to go get her kid. I think that might have been the premise behind that part. But it's like there is 1,000,001 nighttime jobs.
Other reasons.
Yeah,
other reasons why you need. And also, it's a daycare, right?
Yeah.
Daycare's only open so late.
Yeah.
I know. I went to one.
Exactly.
So, and even if it's nighttime, it's December, right? So
Yeah.
it gets dark. It gets dark really early in the evening.
Exactly.
So it could be like 6 p.m. and be blackout. I live in Washington, so I mean, it gets dark around this time. It's almost November now. It got dark at like 5:30.
Yeah.
You know? So it's like you could have had a regular job and was at work late at the office or something and had to leave at 6 or 6:30, got to your kid at 7, and then like the prostitution blows my mind the most. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know, right? That's what really threw me off.
I don't even pulling at straws, but like that, my mind gets attracted to the little things that kind of are weird, and so like that little detail is like, why that detail? Like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
Like, especially because based off the indie games I've seen you play, right? Because they're indie, they don't have like a real budget or anything. So when it comes to a narrative, it's usually a big old wall of text, right? At the beginning of it.
Exactly.
Or maybe a few interactive pieces you can, you read real quick at the start of the game.
Yeah.
Throwing about, right? So, but like that's going to get dumped on you at the beginning of the game.
No, so they actually
okay.
They actually have text boxes that appear throughout as you're exploring, and you like knock on doors and stuff like that, and
those
little text boxes appear, and you're like, the first time I read it, I was like, she's a what now? So wait, I'm playing as this prostitute, just heading home from work to pick up her kid on Christmas Eve? You couldn't stay home one night of the year?
Well, I mean, hey, yo, stripper is hard. but
that's a stripper though. She's a prostitute.
Wait, my bad. harder. That's even harder.
Yeah, that's a bit of a challenge. That's a tough job. I will give it that.
I get it. Everything else is fine, except why did they make her a prostitute? Like, I don't get it.
No, like we said, it could have been any job on the face of this earth. You could have been
else makes sense.
Santa's helper at the mall, and Santa's mad at you and coming after you because you screwed up on Christmas Eve.
Yeah, I'll take that. I would take that, right? Or like if you want to, maybe it's to create sympathy, right? Because people usually look at prostitutes as kind of like, oh man, like because you got in a situation or something, right? So people are like,
something happened.
I feel bad for you, right? You could have made her like a McDonald's worker, bro. Like, that creates just as much sympathy without being like this nonsensical piece.
Yeah.
Was it third or first person?
It was first person.
Okay,
so you never saw the person.
You don't even see the prostitute. So why is she a prostitute? Like,
exactly.
You don't even see her.
To this day, like I once in a while go back to that game to see if they have updated anything, and no, they have not.
No, they have not.
It is the exact same game. It is still pulling in money because it actually cost $1.
Oh,
and it's still pulling in money. And I'm like, because I know Hot Lettuce actually played it.
Oh, he did.
Yeah, I believe he played it on his channel recently. Actually,
I'll have to go find that then because he's hilarious. So I'll definitely have to see if he did that.
It was a weird game, man.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like when I watch you or Hot Lettuce or sometimes C. Kablinski or it's guys who like to do some indie horror stuff or indie games. That's the thing that I can't get down with it because it's so much of a mixed bag. You know what I mean? Like even if you read the reviews, you read the description, it can still be, it's just...
people leave fake reviews on these all the time. They'll be like, yeah, man, that jump scare was the best. So I'll download it and I'll play it. I'll record it. And it's like 10 seconds of a game. And there's like this minor jump scare. And I'm like, that's it. That was the entire game.
Honestly, I feel like half of them or like a quarter of them are probably like MIT test projects that they were like, we need to get some feedback on it. So let's just put it to Steam or let's put it on itch.io to see how it does. Right. And that's the thing.
They do horror game jams.
Oh,
so
do
they have it's anywhere from 24 to 72 hours to develop some of these games.
Mm-hmm.
But some of the best games I've played have come out of those game jams because they put a lot of effort in. Like they'll go for that full 72 hours without sleep and they'll push out a game.
I mean, I wouldn't recommend that, but
no, I don't recommend it, but
that's dedication right there.
Yeah. Well, like I've programmed a few things myself and I've accidentally stayed up way too many days in a row. And then you realize what the hell happened and you're like, oh, I'm going to go sleep for a week now.
And then you check your phone and you're like, oh, my boss called me how many times? Well, let's just keep my phone on silent and just ignore this.
Yeah, I swear I was sick.
Yeah, I was sick the whole time. Absolutely.
Can't you hear the raspiness, right?
Yeah, could you hear I'm basically a zombie.
Want me to come in today? I'll do it. Fuck.
Yeah, I mean, like, I okay, like, I'm not gonna say like there's no good indie games out there because obviously there are.
Yeah.
I mean, well, good as far as what indie can be, right?
Yeah.
It's still solid. It's still fine. And I've actually been delving into indie games on the PlayStation, on the PS4 store myself.
Yeah.
It's been helping me get a better breadth of the type of games that are out there and to kind of see, some games that are like, oh man, it has potential, but like, just maybe it's the budget, maybe not enough manpower or something, right?
Yeah.
But it's just sometimes I've been picking up some of these games, man, and I'm just like, what did I get myself into, man?
Yeah.
And the thing is, since I'm a trophy whore, once the game pops, the trophies come up, I'm like, I have to play this. I have to keep playing this. I'm one of those that just can't look at for an achievement for you guys. I cannot stand seeing it. It is at 0% or like something not 100. I can't stand it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm great. Honestly, I wish I don't have to deal with this burden in life.
Yeah.
Wish I could give it to somebody else, but it's my burden to bear. And so I have ended up playing some really bad racing games because of that. Racing games is like probably around the same gamut as horror games as far as like the amount that are out there, and just it's like it follows a similar formula that horror games can follow a lot of times. And man, I play some doo-doo ones, man.
Oh yeah.
Well, anyways, we're gonna move on here.
Okay.
To continue with our horror conversation here. I don't play horror games. I don't have a good one or bad one. I'm kind of telling everyone else no too, because
Oh
I
yeah,
usually give a response or an answer of my own. I don't
fair
have
enough.
one. I'll just again say RA can suck my dick. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. Anyways, and I don't mean to trigger you with that, but that's just how I feel.
Oh, dude, everybody has their opinion on games. I don't hold anybody accountable for it. It's their opinion. They're good.
Well, sometimes it still hurts because I heard some dudes talk shit about Ratchet and Clank, and a little bit inside of me started raging inside.
Well, RE8 is
Yeah.
far away from being the best RE game out there. Like far, far away. I will agree with you on that. I enjoyed playing it, but at the same time, there is definitely better ones.
Are you just including the main 8, or are you also including the 1,000 spin-offs that are also in that canon as well?
The main 8. I'm not a fan of the spin-offs.
That makes it a lot easier.
Yeah.
There's Zero, then there's Code Veronica, then there's like, and then you got like all these other weird ones that are like, what is this? And then you got Revelations, and it's like, oh my god,
yeah,
so many. But yeah. So, anyways, we're continue on here. So as you guys know, we're having a horror theme episode here. I talked to my man about horror. He does horror. That's what he does. It's in his blood. So my main conversation to ask him, why the hell did you do this, man? Why? What is it with horror? And I think you should be speaking for everyone who loves horror, right? Because a lot of people that love horror, not just games, movies, TV, whatever, right? But here's the thing: like, I never been a fan of horror. I don't like being scared. I hate the feeling it gives me. I don't like the sense of dread and like with like the anxiety. Like, here's the thing. Okay, you want to know how bro? You don't know how bad it is for me. Like,
let's hear it.
All right. And I have no shame, so I don't want to hear no shit from nobody. Remember the movie Signs?
Signs. Yes.
The alien movie?
Yes, I remember that
movie,
one.
That I had nightmares for like 3 weeks after that movie.
No.
Granted, I was like 12 or 13, but still, I had like nightmares for like weeks. Like, there's that. Remember that part where it's like I don't know if you remember, but like there's a part in it where they're like someone has like a camcorder. It's like a birthday party.
Yeah.
And stuff, and then like she like pans it out like out her window or something. Cause I think they heard something, and then like in like these bushes, the alien just like walks through and shit.
Yeah,
bro. My heart flatlined. You needed to call the ambulance. Like, bro, I was dead. Like, that was it. I was like, I'm not sleeping tonight. So like, dude, I was, and it sometimes creeps up and back in my head again. Like, I'm not kidding, man. And then like some years later, or maybe that same year, I was like watching TV, and it was like late at night, like a Friday night, and I was just flipping the channels, and this documentary of like alien abductions came on. And I was already reeling from that movie, and then this happened, and then I'm like, aliens are real. They have to be real. Like, and so I was like, okay, good. So I was like, apparently wood stops them. They don't know how to deal with wood. My door's made out of wood. We're good. So like, bro, I'm not kidding, man. It's not good. Like, remember the movie 8-Legged Freaks from back in the day?
Yes.
I walked out the movie theater. I was so terrified.
Really?
I was 11.
Wasn't that supposed to be like a comedy horror?
Supposed to be a comedy. Supposed to be a comedy. I walked out the theater, bro. Like I walked out, had to recoup myself, and then came back because I watched it by myself too. And my mom even was like, "Is this what? Are you sure? Like, you would have." Are you really? I was like, yeah, because I think I thought it was a comedy. I think too, because they didn't really show the spiders that much.
No,
in the commercial, so that might have also been why I thought so. So I was thinking, like, it looked funny, right? So I was like, oh yeah, man. I was not prepared for those giant spiders, man. I was not prepared. I had nightmares for weeks after that one too, man.
Damn.
And then I saw Paranormal Activity.
Yeah,
the first one, just the first one. I didn't see none of the others, but the first one. Obviously, everyone knows first one. It was a phenomenon, right? I mean, indie darling if there ever was one, because we didn't know that it was only made like on $10,000.
Yeah,
and like the two actors were like basically interns. Like, we didn't know anything, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And also, like, I'm a sucker, right, for like just like what's given in front of me. So like it tells you in the beginning like this is supposed to be a true story, right? Like,
yeah,
it's supposed to be like this is recovered footage that the police found. I should have been like, all right, cool, they're just making a story. I was like, fuck, this happened for real? So like, I thought this was real, bro. I thought it was legit because I never saw Blair Witch, right?
Yeah.
So I didn't know about the found footage genre, like
Okay.
camcorder style movies. I never seen one, right, or really knew that genre. So this was the first kind of in that genre that I had ever seen. So of course that makes it more real and
Yeah,
more
exactly.
and more like it actually happened. And bro, as that story was oh my gosh, dude, like when the demon made that huge noise and then shook the house, man, dude, dude, I was with a whole group of friends and I was still like bundled up, like my shirt was in my mouth. I was like rocking back and forth, like I was screwed. That whole movie, I was screwed, fam. I'm not even lying. And then like when towards like the third act, when they found the I don't know who it was, I don't know if it was the guy or the girl, but like they went up into the insulation and they found like a picture of theirs way in the back.
Yeah.
And then they grabbed it and like his face was either like, I think the frame of his where his face was like smashed. Whatever. I was like, oh shit, he gonna get it. Oh my god, he gonna get it. Oh no. I'll say a couple prayers for you. You gonna die. Oh no.
Oh damn.
And then like when she gets dragged out of bed, the way they did that, like so naturally, like there was like a struggle and everything, like getting her out of bed. And then when she woke up and then she like just screaming in the door shot, I was like, I can't do this anymore. I can't do this. I need a refund. I need a refund right away. I cannot. There are not enough jelly beans on this planet that make me feel better. Like it is not okay. Oh, dude, I honestly could not sleep that night.
Damn.
I could not sleep. Dude, I tried. And here's the thing. I don't like horror, but I actually love paranormal. Like I'll watch like the reality paranormal shows or like try to watch more realistic ghost shows.
Yeah.
I love that shit. But horror movies, right? Horror movies, I can't do it. So this crossed the line, and I didn't know it was going to cross the line. Like I thought it was going to be like a ghost movie, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm into ghosts and shit. I like watching that stuff. They didn't tell me it was going to be a horror movie. They didn't tell me at all. I was betrayed. So yeah, I'm not good with it. So
yeah.
What is it for you and millions of people around the world, billions, whatever? What is it that makes you love it? Makes you go back to this anxiety, this blood? What is it?
Well,
tell me. I want to know.
I'll be honest. I was desensitized at a very, very young age, around 4 or 5 years old. God, I was watching Chucky and Freddy Krueger with my parents.
What?
Yeah. And I mean, don't get me wrong, at that age, they scared the absolute crap out of me. But my family really likes to joke around with stuff like that. So there was instances of my dad hiding under my bed, grabbing my foot, just generally scaring the crap out of me to the point where I became so desensitized to it that me and my wife, my wife that I have, we go to horror movies to laugh at them. Because there's just nothing that screams horror to us anymore. There's very few horror films that we can actually get behind where we're like, that was actually freaking terrifying. And where most people will be like screaming in the theater or, they'll yell at some jump scare. Me and my wife are laughing our asses off because to us, it's no longer scary. Like even the horror games I play, they make me jump and they build that sense of dread. But that's just me reliving when I was young and getting that sense of dread when I watch those movies. Because I get scared and I'm like, yes, I hated the feeling as a kid, but I love revisiting it because I don't get it from anywhere else anymore. That's why I love horror games. But in the same essence, if I was in a haunted house, let's say I went to go visit a haunted house to do like a video or something, if something were to grab, whisper in my ear, or pull anything of mine or me across the room, you would see me fly out of that house so damn fast your head would spin. There'd be a dust cloud, an after image of myself being there, because as much as I love it, I don't want that shit happening to me.
Oh my god, who does, man?
Like, I don't know if you watch my wife watches that channel. I can't remember what it's called for the life of me. But anyway, they go into haunted houses and they have like a few of them. They're like considered the scratch house. And these guys literally get pulled, pushed, and thrown across rooms by ghosts. And they show like they're the first 3 seasons or so of these guys, they actually don't believe in ghosts at all. And they're going through these houses being like all cocky shit and, you know, Ouija boards, ghost boxes, you know, they're all of it's fake, right? They're like, it's all fake. It's all fake. It isn't, nothing's real. And then during one of these places that was called the Scratch House, I believe it was, but they've ran into the Scratch Demon 3 times. One of them, he turns around with his camera and his buddy's face is completely changed. Black eyes and like just pure evil looking. And he freaks the absolute hell out. And then Buddy starts puking pure black. Like absolute black. And then another guy gets pushed down the stairs and they were fucking out. This shit, it's all real. These guys actually do this and they get freaked out to the point where they will leave the house. They're like, no, we're not staying here anymore. Like, because they have to spend the night at the places and do recordings and they have cameras and stuff set up. And some of them, they get to the point where they're like, not again, not going back there. And people live in these houses. Like, when they walk in and like, he looks to like they just walked in. Nobody else is in the house. And they prove that by, you know, going around the house individually. And the first thing they see when they walk in is all the cupboards in the kitchen are swinging back and forth and slamming and doing all sorts of crazy shit. And they're like, oh, let's do this.
All right.
Yeah. But like that type of shit, no. If I was involved in that, like I said, there'd be an after image of me. I'd be gone. Because
there's that meme of that it's like the black kid with the dreads who's like, it just has him and it's like fades away, like it's faded out.
Exactly. That would be me, because seriously, actual paranormal stuff scares the crap out of me. And as much as I enjoy being scared, I don't like it being particularly, let's say, in my own house.
Whoa. Right? No one wants that.
But some people do. That's the thing. Some people do. Some people are perfectly okay with that shit. And I'm like, no, that's not for me. But I like getting scared. Well, like, I enjoy playing a game that'll build that tension and make me feel nervous. That's why I play my games in a basement, right? Like, right now, I'm sitting in a basement with just my 2 lights going. That's it. It's because I enjoy I feel like I have to look over my shoulder type thing. And it draws me to it because I enjoy that fear. But at the same time, I'm so desensitized to it that if I'm watching a movie that's supposed to be like one of the scariest movies of the year, like they tend to claim every other day.
Oh, I know, right?
Can't believe anything, right?
But that's one thing games don't do. Games will never be like every other game. Everybody's like, "Oh, that craziest horror game of the year." Nobody
says that because they know that somebody's going to come out of the left field and be like, "Oh yeah, hold my beer."
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, but yeah. Okay, go ahead though. Go ahead.
But yeah, so horror movies, I will generally, like, me and my wife sit there and laugh at them. People are screaming in the audience, and we're sitting there gutting ourselves. There was our first date that we ever went on, actually, is how we found out that we both really enjoy doing that. Is it was something about a demon in a box, and the whole movie, I was thinking the whole time, I was like, it's so fun. This movie's so dumb. And I'm looking over at my girlfriend at the time, my wife now, but my girlfriend at the time. I'm looking at her, and she has the same look on her face. And then, like, the end of the movie, or close to the end of it, the demon finally comes out of the box, and everybody in the theater starts screaming. And me and my wife are just howling. We're like, that was the cheesiest shit I've ever seen. And then they get the demon back in the box by saying its name 3 times, and it's the end of the movie. And me and her left
one
there.
Of those things? One of those things? Say your name 3 times? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding
like me and her are just freaking gutting ourselves, and everybody's like, "Oh my god, that was so scary." We're like, "No, that wasn't. What movie were you in? Like, did we get a different movie in the theater?"
Oh
It's
man.
weird, man.
If you want a real laugh, oh man, one day if I ever find myself in Canada, I'll go see a horror movie with you guys. Because if you want a real laugh, watching me be scared or like, because I'll be exaggerated with it too. Because for me to help cope with the fear
Yeah.
is to like exaggerate my reaction to make it kind of funny or something, right?
To make it seem like you're being sarcastic.
That's how I cope. Right, that's how
Yeah.
I'm coping. It's not to be an asshole. I'm trying to survive. so you guys would probably, if the movie was already funny, watching me overreact to something would make you guys on the floor. Like
That'd be great. I'd be
fall
down for that.
So I'm curious though. So if your wife is also, did she grow up the same way? Was she also
except
Freddy Krueger at 5?
Yeah, pretty much. Except her family was a little more cruel, and they'd I guess she used to sneak downstairs or something, or maybe it was her sister. I can't remember. But I guess she used to sneak downstairs when she was young. So they took a life-size cardboard cutout of Freddy Krueger and put it in the hallway after they had watched Freddy Krueger with them. And she went like downstairs and turned on, didn't even turn on the light. She just looked, and there's Freddy Krueger at the bottom of the stairs. It's just freaking done. And from that point on, she wasn't scared anymore.
After that, nothing scares me.
No, nothing, right?
You don't know what I've been through.
Yeah. So she had a similar upbringing with that stuff, and it was really weird to run into somebody that was the same way as me, because I always thought I was just this anomaly out there. But apparently there's a lot of people that just laugh at horror. It's fucking weird.
I have to, like I said, just to cope, because like I've walked in on like my siblings watching some horror movie or something. It's supposed to be scary, but like I have to like, because I'm just like I can't handle it, so I have to like talk, like just a bit narrate what's happening and give commentary on it to like downplay the horror. Otherwise, I'm going to cry. So, yeah, but it's interesting. I think my mom might be the same, because she grew up in the 80s.
Yeah,
and she told me that back then there were no regulations on what you could show on TV. So she also grew up, all the Freddys and Jasons and
original Exorcist,
all that stuff, right? Watching on free cable television. They didn't give a shit in the 80s. So like, she's like a 10-year-old, right? Like just watching this at night alone in the dark. So she told me she grew up with that. So I think she might be also the same thing, like looking for something, right?
Yeah.
So it seems to be that what drives you is, I think you might have a relation to it. You have a horror relation. You have a nostalgic relation to horror. There we go.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
And so I think because people love nostalgia, we're always trying to like
relive
give
it.
a chance to relive it, to get it back, to feel that again. We'll take it.
Exactly.
That's why we buy remastered games.
Yeah.
Hey, I am the first one to admit that. Remastered games. I love them. Anyways, so I think that's probably what it is for you. And so it seems, I'm guessing I think you said this. So games brings it, or has a better chance to bring it to you than a movie does, or like a TV show.
Yeah, for sure.
And obviously that's most likely because of the agency you get playing a game, because obviously you have more control in a game than any other media.
You get more into it. Like watching somebody else live a horror experience, to me, isn't that scary. It's like, okay, well, you're gonna trip, you're gonna break your ankle, you're gonna get lost in the woods and get stabbed, like whatever. It's the same principle over and over again. But when you're playing a game, you're that character. And like in some of my videos that I have on YouTube, like there's like spots where I won't talk for like 15-20 minutes because I'm so freaking into the game and waiting for that next scare that I just forget to talk, and I forget I'm supposed to be there to entertain people.
Yeah. I know, I can see how that would be. Because we're playing a couple horror games. Horror games. They're supposed to be horror games. They're not turning out to be that, but they're supposed to be. But even when we're playing Soma, right? Because we are basically a comedy channel, right? We have the luxury of, even if we're playing a horror game, that we can just shoot the shit.
Yeah.
Right. And try to just be funny and all that stuff. We don't have to be serious.
Yeah.
However, when that game wants to be scary, it gets us and we shut up for a little bit. But because we're comedy based, in between those moments when things get tense and crazy, we're basically shoot the shit, trying to like just be funny and stuff, which also helps the tension.
Yeah.
So you're by yourself in a basement with like a fucking pixie stick and like and a firefly light. So
Yeah.
like for you, it's a lot harder to like break the tension.
Yeah.
Right. So like, and I imagine if I was by myself too, it would be a little bit harder too. I would still probably find myself just talking to myself anyways to just
Break
say
the
shit because
atmosphere.
I have to break it. Like it's just otherwise it's going to kill me. Like
Yeah.
so I have to break it. So but trust me, like because for anyone who's seen the Soma stuff, like there have been points where that game does pop up and we're like, oh,
Yeah.
fuck, what just happened?
Someone's
Like
got
it
some
gets
good
us,
ones.
right? It gets us, and I'm sure it'll continue to get us. But everything else we can just be like, oh my gosh. And also, even though we're scared, Travis is my main guy who I do this stuff. His scream is so ridiculously funny. It like even
Perfect.
if you were scared, you're no longer scared.
Yeah.
Like
You get scared, you just look over at him like, what was that?
I don't gotta look. I gotta look. I just hear it. He's right. He's like, you probably heard it in any video that we do.
Yep.
Anything. You just grab that pillow. He's like, how can I be scared with a scream like that?
Oh, I know. It just breaks the entire horror atmosphere. You're just like, okay, good. Thank you for that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not mad. Trust me, I'm not
No,
mad.
no, exactly.
But yeah, it's great. So, fortunately for you and for a lot of people who mainly do single solo channels, I mean, it's tough to break it. So, I mean, but I can see how you get into it if that's your thing too. I mean, like when I'm not on camera, right? I am
zoned
focused,
in, right? Yeah.
I am zoned in, right? Like I can waste away hours on a game. Right?
Yeah.
But obviously with the camera on, you gotta bring it for the people.
Exactly. Yeah. Got to try and be more entertaining.
You got to try to be entertaining in some way, right?
Yeah.
You're either educating or entertaining. One of those two things. But yeah. So okay. So I think we've psychologically dissected why you like horror. Why do you think other people do? Because I doubt, like you said, you feel like you're an anomaly. Yeah. I'm not gonna say you are, but like I'm sure there's other reasons. So what do you think are more other reasons people just love to go back to horror?
The feeling of the tension. Let's face it, everybody like let's use carnival rides as an example, right? You go on a carnival ride like let's say the Zipper. Lots of people get scared on that ride, right? Because it's the flipping. It's the one that's in the big oval and you have all the carts flipping around randomly.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so let's use that as an example. Now, that ride scares the crap out of anybody. And I worked at a carnival. That ride should scare the crap out of people. It's held together with a pin. A pin.
Like most things in the carnival.
Exactly. But they keep going back to it because they love that thrill of okay, I'm going to die. I might die in this carnival ride, but at least I'll be having fun doing it, right? So that's what draws them to that. I think it's sort of the same thing with horror, where it's like they enjoy the feeling of being scared. And that's what really makes them go back to it, is just they enjoy that feeling, that knot in your stomach, the chill up your spine, feeling like you're constantly being watched at some point. It draws people back just for the fact that's what they like to feel. And hey, all the power to them. And in my opinion, if that's why you're going back to horror, that's some adrenaline junkie shit right there.
Hey, well, speaking of junkies, you sounded like a junkie when you were talking about trying to go back and get that feeling.
Yeah, no, I know. I know. It's like, man, I sound like a guy looking for a fix.
You literally, I was like, damn, I never heard of a horror fix like that before.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, like, okay, that's usually like the go-to, right? Like, oh, the adrenaline, right? Blah, blah, blah,
yeah.
blah. I can get adrenaline in 1,000 other ways, but it must be a different type.
Well, it's the chill.
It must be something different. The chill.
Like so like when something truly scares you. Somebody jumps out from behind a corner in a dark room to scare you, right? You get that shooting electricity up your spine where you're like, and you get ready to either punch them or, you have your fight or flight response. You're either going to beat the crap out of them or you're going to run away and scream. That's what I mean by the thrill of it, is they like to have that electricity shoot through them. And yes, there's other ways to get adrenaline. Like you could go skydiving, you could go to a carnival, you could, go race car driving. They're all good things. but they all also hold their potential of danger, where horror fans, it's mostly they're going to either watch a movie, play a game, or they're going to go visit a haunted house, be it a set-up haunted house or a legit haunted house. So it's a little bit different because there is safety to it, but there's also the scare of the unknown. So if I go to a haunted house, I don't know what's going to happen. That place could be a complete, peaceful place and the people just played it up to be scary. Or it could be an actual terrifying thing where the next thing you know, you have a lamp being thrown at your head from something out of another room. It's there's just different forms of the adrenaline that, like, there is, sorry, my arm of my chair just fell off. But yeah, there's just different forms of that type of adrenaline. Like, yeah, I go back for the fear because I like feeling that scared, like when I was a kid, because I don't get it anymore. But then there's the people that just constantly want to feel scared because that's just what draws them. It's like if you like comedy, you like comedy. You like comedy because it makes you laugh. It makes you feel bubbly and happy, right? Where horror, in essence, in a different feeling, is the same thing for them. So where you would go and be like, I'm going to go watch, like, I don't know, Dumb and Dumber 2. Or, okay, no,
I would,
because
but...
no, I was just going to say Dumb and Dumber 2 is terrible.
I wouldn't watch that, but thank you.
But say you wanted to go watch a comedy movie that's really funny to you.
Yeah.
It's the same thing for a guy that wants to watch horrors because it's really good to them. It scared the crap out of them. But the thing about horror is after, once or twice of watching or playing the same thing, you know where everything is. There's no change. So you have to find the new area, the new movie, the new game, the new house. Where comedy, I don't care how many times I've watched a movie, it will still kick me in the gut. I love comedy too, right? That's why horror comedies, like Scary Movie.
Yeah.
The first 3?
I think it was like 1,000, but yeah, verse 3.
Yeah, there's like 8 of them now or some stupid
and
crap.
Then they did the spin-offs, like Date Movie or like other movies. Like they said doing spin-offs and
shit. Yeah. Those ones I didn't really get behind. They tried to play off of movies that were already funny. And that to me is just ridiculous in its own sense.
Yeah, I saw those. I was like, guys, we need to talk. Like,
yeah.
Come on, guys.
There's comedy and then there's desperate, okay? Like
yeah, and I think we crossed Desperate 2 movies ago.
Yeah, so. Exactly. Like the Scary Movie 2 when she fights that cat. That still gets me every freaking time. I don't care how many times I watch it. Watching this chick box a cat and lose is freaking amazing.
Comedy has more lasting power than horror does, for
sure. It really
does. Which I guess goes to explain why people were trying to find that next one, right?
Exactly.
Like I can go back, if enough time has passed, I can go back watch a stand-up from a while ago that I've seen 1,000 times and still chuckle at least.
Yeah.
Because enough time has passed and I'm like, oh my gosh, I haven't heard this in a while.
Exactly. I'm the same way with that, what's his name? Fluffy.
Oh, Gabriel Iglesias.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, Gabriel Iglesias. He's got like a direct line to my funny bone.
Yeah, no, he's one of the best out there. Interesting. You brought it up. I was thinking about it too. I was thinking it might be because, oh Josh, what was the point you made? Horror people. Gosh, I lost it. But it was a point you had made. I was thinking about it already. Oh well, whatever. But you make some good points. I think oh yeah, there we go. The controlled aspect of it, right? Like you brought up. That is one form of adrenaline that's probably one of the more controlled ones. Minus actual haunted homes and all that shit.
Yeah.
Everything else though is controlled in any other way you get it. So I think even if you are terrified, even if you are about to lose it, I guess there is a sense in the back of your mind knowing that like you're safe, kind of.
Yeah.
Which could also be why when you go to an actual haunted house or you go to the scratch house or some shit, you're like, we are dealing with forces that we are not in control of, and so I'm a bounce. Like I've seen so many of those ghost horror shows, or those ghost hunting shows or whatever, right? And someone busts out the Ouija board, and I'm like, you fools!
Exactly.
Throw that away.
I actually remember the name of that channel if you ever want to check it. It was called Mindseed.
Mindseed. Okay.
Yeah. And yeah, they even say, like, they use one up from a Ouija board. They use a demon board. Okay. Yeah.
What?
And those things are fucking horrifying.
That sounds horrifying. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I don't want one of those at 1,000 meters of me. Like,
no, you really don't. You start using those and it starts talking. You don't get to say bye until it spells out stuff, but you don't get to say goodbye. You don't get to say goodbye until it says goodbye. You could be there for hours stuck talking to a demon, and you don't get to leave until it says bye. Otherwise, you've invited it into your house.
What?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
These fools.
Ouija boards are just the tip of the iceberg, man.
They're like, Ouija boy, get that weak shit out of here.
Pretty much.
We got the demon bows from Satan himself.
Yeah. And they do another thing. Sorry, I keep talking about this other channel. They sit with a guy that is so a guy goes in a room, completely blacked out room, blindfolded. All he has on are headphones, and that's all he can hear, soundproof headphones. And they're in a completely different room in the other end of the house. And they ask the spirit box questions. And the spirit box is hooked into his headphones. So all he hears is the answers from the spirit box. Mm-hmm. And so they'll ask questions, and he, in this dark room, will have to, whatever the spirit box says, he has to say out loud. And they have no idea what it's saying. So they'll ask a question and be like, well, do you want to harm us? And the guy in the room, like 3 rooms away, will be like, yes, you need to leave this house. And it's like super creepy, super weird how they do it, and physically impossible to fake. Like the guy's blindfolded and he can't do anything. It's fucked. I would never do that. As soon as I heard that voice talk, I'd be like, no, God, no. When nothing talks to you, there's an issue.
If once someone fucking busts out a spirit box in my house, I'm like, all right, you can leave. You can,
exactly.
You can go. I didn't ask for this. You can go.
Yeah.
Right now, actually, man. Like I've heard shit. I've seen shit where like people were using some of those boards, not the demon ones, the other ones, and like they threw it away, right? But like it was still near the house. That was still that was enough. That was enough. Like it's in the Wi-Fi range, so it was enough. So it just got in. I was like, you fools! You should have burned it.
Yeah. Well, what's worse is once you start antagonizing spirits in a house, once you give them what's the word I'm looking? Once you credit them with being there.
Oh yeah.
Like you start being like, hey, are you here? And once you start doing that, they will only become more active because you have justified them being there.
Oh, okay. That's
so now, if you start seeing shit moving around your house, you pretend like you never saw a damn thing.
Didn't see it. No,
that cup going flying across the room. It's probably the cat.
Nah, it's the boxing cat. Trying to get his strength up.
Exactly.
Oh man. Well, hey, we're a little over the normal time here. We could keep going on this horror shit just for a long time. But I think we'll wrap it up here. Good. All right. It's good to hear your thoughts on why people do horror. I still think y'all are fucking crazy. You guys too. Anyone who's in the horror shit, like y'all crazy. All right. I'm gonna sit back with my Hello Kitty doll and have me a fucking Slurpee, and that makes me happy. So
there you go.
You guys can go and try to kill yourselves through fear, and I will be having a tasty drink.
There you go.
But yeah, so again, thank you so much, SN Sacris.
Sacris.
God damn it, Sacris. SN Sacris, they're coming on the podcast for us this week, this special Halloween episode.
I appreciate you having me.
And the pleasure's all mine. Like I said, you came down to see me, this lowly channel of mine, to grace me with your presence, man. And so yeah, check him out. I'll link his channel in the description below. He's currently doing Alan Wake Remastered and A Little Hope, which is actually the second game in the series. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah.
That's the second. So you kind of play them out of order, but hey, who's counting?
Yeah.
Well, they're supposed to have their own solitary story.
They have their own solitary, yeah.
I guess it's not a big deal. And honestly, I watch other people play that one, and honestly, I hate the characters in that game. I forget which chick. Actually, no, the old chick. I don't know if you met her yet. There's an old chick
Yeah.
and the pixie cut chick.
Yeah.
I want to stab them. I just want to stab them. And the old guy, the professor too. I want to kill him too.
Oh, I know.
Like,
he's a dick.
all of them suck. And I'm like, why do all these characters suck so much? Like, I'm supposed to like them. Like,
the only one that's good is that kid with amnesia.
Yeah, he seems fine. Like, he's whatever.
Yeah, probably because he forgot who he is.
Yeah, which is whatever. Whatever makes you likable.
Yeah,
everyone else sucks in that game, man. Like that one sucks. Like I hate everybody. Like I watched Sammy Bug played it some time ago.
Yep.
And I was like, why does like the pixie cut chick? I'm like, I don't know how you transcended time and you're a Karen and a teenage, like a 20-year-old body, but somehow you've accomplished it because she is exactly what a Karen I would imagine a Karen sounding like. I was like, I don't know how you did this. And then the old bitch, like, man, get out of here with those glasses.
Oh, I know.
Your stupid glasses. Get out of here. Oof.
Yeah, I love him talking down to everybody.
I was going to say a word, but I think it might be too much for my channel. So I'm going to say she sucks and move on. But anyways, guys, we will see you guys on the next week's episode. It'll be back to me and David again. But check out his channel out. He can use all the support. I can use some of the support. Just wink, wink. But don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to both our channels. If you like what you see here, please hit the notification bell when you want to put up the next podcast up or next episode. We put out stuff every other day. And with that, we will see you guys next time. Bye.